Hey, what's going on everyone? In this video, I'm going to be jumping on with one of our top performing clients, Keenan and Tim from McLean Air. Some exciting news, we've recently partnered with them to do some coaching for our clients and come up with an offering for trade businesses, where we'll do all of your marketing, your lead generation, and coaching as well to close more deals and scale your business. The best part is these guys are still doing it every single day. They're not someone who's exited the trade, started a coaching business and is now doing coaching when they don't actually have a trade business anymore. These guys are living and breathing it every day, so you know what you're going to learn is working right now. So this new client of ours has been struggling to close people for the last month. He's closed a couple of jobs, but nothing major. So in this video, we're breaking down why and a couple of key strategies that's going to help him in the next month. Sin, I appreciate you jumping on. This is Keenan and Tim. So they're from McLean Air. They're based in New South Wales. You know, they've been with us for, geez, how long you guys been with us? Like over 12, like probably around 12 months.
Yeah, I'd say so.
You know, they're obviously doing really, really well. So I thought they'd be able to come on and sort of help you out with, you know, sort of understanding what you're struggling with, why, and maybe how to fix it. So, you know, I think the best way to do this is kind of go through some questions that I guess I had for you, Sinner, and, you know, then sort of get Keenan and Tim's opinion, and then they can kind of go through what they would like to cover as well.
Yeah.
So, Sina, my first question to you is, what seems to be like the main problem for you?
I don't know. So when you guys send me the leads information, so I contact them and you sometimes I text them. So just yeah. So like I said, 50% they reply, but 50% not. And then so that 50% they reply, so just I send them in to them. You know, some like the most of them just they're getting the price, but they don't come back. Yeah, during this day when I started with you guys, just to be honest, just installed one doctor system and just one customer with a just three split system.
Okay,
That's all.
so so in the last month you've done one ducted and three splits. And I guess how long is it taking you to get in touch with the lead? Like a lead comes in, how soon are you contacting them?
Sometimes I do it straight away, but sometimes like a few hours takes like a few hours to just to reply to them or just like just to call them, you know.
Okay.
Tim?
Just to touch base there, if I can jump in, with obviously speed to lead is number one. So obviously those straightaways are pretty good. Another thing on top of that, so after you've given them a call and you were saying how about 50% of them do respond, 50% of them don't. How long do you give yourself until you give them another call?
Just maybe just after like a 3 to 4 days.
If you can try, keep it around like 2 days, at least, because obviously speed to lead, it's fresh in their mind. This is what they're after. A lot of the times it is reactive of clicking into these ads and obviously wanting to look for pricing on aircon, stuff like that. Most of the time, it's really just somebody going, oh, there's a deal or there's something, so I'll click into this. So if you really try and push them early and basically as quick as you can, so even next day, 2 days max, that'll probably increase your chances, I'd say.
Is it different like a send a message to them or by email? Which one is is more like a more effective for the customers? It's
More
different.
effective would be definitely phone calls. So for myself, I give obviously that initial phone call. I'll
Yeah.
hit them with a second one if they don't answer, and then I'll leave them with a text message. But anything pretty much, if you can get them on the phone and talking, you have a much better kind of way of not really trapping them, but you're pretty much trying to make their mind up for them. Because if you give them just a text message or an email, something like that, we do it all the time. We check our phones, it's back in our pocket. Yeah. So
Yeah.
just little things to kind of direct them in the way that you want them to go without actually pushing them hard, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Tim, do you have anything you'd like to add on that?
Yeah. Are these when you're getting these leads in, and then you're responding to those leads that come in, are they asking you to come to site and quote it, or are they asking for like over the phone quotes?
Yeah, just over the phone. Yeah.
Because we find like within 5 minutes, if someone lets me in their door, I've won the job, just because like they see you face to face. I don't know if they're asking, or you're saying, can I come over to like look at the property and give you a quote, like person to person, or because I noticed a lot like that changed for us. From over the quote, we weren't getting so many, but as soon as we started doing it in person, the like your presence gives them a little bit more comfort, if that makes sense. And then they see how confident you are because you know what you're doing. Like you know you live this trade, you breathe it, and then they can sense that on you when you're talking to them like face to face.
Yeah.
So I know it's a bit of a like a push to say, I can give you a quote over the phone, but I can give you a more accurate quote in person, like if you're available for that.
All right. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's gonna be, I think, gonna be another idea to get them more customers. Yeah.
I think that's a good idea, Tim. That was going to be leading into my next question, which is, what are you actually saying on the call?
Yeah, the first thing I'm asking just some information of the property, like how many bedrooms they have, and then like how many zones and how many outlets they're looking for, and then after that we jump to what brand they prefer. That's all. Yeah, that's all.
Okay. So going on what Tim was saying, I think booking a site, visit is great, and I think I would agree. Is that something that you're doing, or are you just, if they just want to quote over the phone, you're just kind of giving them a rough figure?
Yeah, no, actually, yeah. So now, from now, yeah, I will ask them so if I can come to their property just to have a look and then just speak in person. So maybe I think that one gonna be maybe more confidence for the customers. Yeah.
Yep.
I feel like based off in person as well, is once you get somebody, like once you get yourself in front of them, it also makes it harder for somebody to look you in the eyes and tell you no as well. So that's kind of another thing there of why we do push for site visits. A bit of source of what we kind of changed in our structure that it works really well is that information you're asking for. So whether obviously zones, your brand preference, how many bedrooms, because obviously bedrooms are important, joint living kitchen, that'll obviously help us understand how many outlets they're going to want, stuff like that. When it comes to ducted systems, obviously you know yourself, that is generally the information we need.
Yeah.
So off that information, you can give them what we would a targeted ballpark. So that'll be yourself, how you're doing it now, giving them that figure over the phone. And then you could also just send them a quick message with it saying, here's the targeted ballpark figure. Would like to confirm everything with a site visit. So then they've got your price right on, like over the phone, obviously. And then if they do sound pretty keen, then they'll get you to do the site visit. So then that for yourself internally, okay, they are interested. They do want to spend some money. We might like your close rate ends up going from like obviously absolute zero to maybe like 60%.
Yep.
Then once you get in front of them and they do confirm a site visit, something like that, you're up at like 80%. So you just got that little bit to go. So I reckon if you structure around something like that, it kind of boots away the tire kickers and the ones that are just looking for a price, and then brings in those ones that are interested and do want you to come out and make sure you confirm exactly what you've quoted them.
And there's always going to be people too saying they don't want a site visit. We get them still all the time.
Yeah.
There's always going to be those guys.
My question to you, Tim and Keenan, would be like when someone is maybe hesitant, instead of just accepting, okay, cool, maybe they don't want a site visit, how do you sort of handle those? Obviously, there's those people that are just like, no, no, no. But, there's some people on the fence. How are you sort of like from your initial call to the site visit, how are you sort of structuring that call to, get them to be like, yeah, cool. All right, I'll do a site visit. No worries.
So
that example was today.
Yeah. So a clear example of the visits that Tim went to
Yep.
Did exactly our structure. So obviously initial call, finding out what they need, what really their problem is, because obviously we have the solution for it. If it's a replacement, obviously you're going to quote on what they've already got. And obviously just brand preference. If it's brand new, we're trying to pull all that information about zones, outlets, stuff like that. Whether an electrician's required, all of that kind of stuff. That information is enough to give them that targeted ballpark. Once they have a set kind of price, a lot of the market, which is how you're kind of sending out quotes over the phone, is a lot of those people will then show up to site. Once they've paid a deposit, the job's locked in, and they show up, they try to add those extras. So this kind of system gives them that reassurance where it's like, yep, we've got it targeted, but we want to confirm it with the site visit. So it kind of doesn't really give them a choice to tell us no.
Yeah. And one of the biggest things that like we've gotten a lot of feedback on it from people like that is that we oversell. So we go into a lot of detail that other companies don't do about it's literally your knowledge about products and units. And if you over what's the word for it? Like if you over explain the process and the detail in your install and talk them through a lot more detail. A lot of companies don't do that. They just give them the basic, this is it, this is your price, and then they walk off and wait. But we've got a lot of feedback, like both of us, when we go in, that the customer's like, oh, the other companies that came in, they didn't give us that much information. Oh, and then you've kind of got them again on another hook where they're just like, well, this person's giving me more information than anyone else has. And it gives them like I want to go with this kind of person.
Yeah, because you probably realised yourself while being on site too, is a lot of people out there don't know much about our industry. So I'm assuming you've probably gone a few jobs, because I've been to a lot where you show up and you'll be like, oh, when was the last time you got your system serviced? I didn't know it needed one, and that's like that's one of the most simplest things that you need to do. But a lot of these people don't know too much about our industry. So when they get all these different people, it's really the ones that are overselling, sound like obviously they know what they're doing, so they want that professional
Proactivity.
Yeah, proactivity.
Even if you don't know, there's a high in getting a job from a quote or just a message. In getting the job, it's a lot of it's going to sound bad, but like fake it till you make it. Like you do lay it on thick when you explain things to them, so that they feel like you know a hell of a lot more. And you might not know the terms for certain things or anything like that, but you also coming through with confidence to these people. And you do talk a little bit, you got to talk yourself up in the sense of making you seem more wanted by these customers.
Yep.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that's good information. Yeah,
that's 90% of our quoting work is you talk to them, but sometimes it's not always about aircon. Sometimes you're talking to them about like you catch something that they've said, and then you can also relate to it in like your own personal life experiences, and you're kind of getting them on a friend level, and then they're a lot more comfortable, and there's a much bigger chance you're getting that quote now that you've like allowed them to like open up friend wise to you.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
It's not easy to start with. It's not. We can't say that it's going to happen like straight away. But like the more you do it, the more you get face to face with these people, the more you're going to have experiences with different people, and say kids or like sports even. Like it doesn't have to be about aircon. You hear them say something, and you just connect with them on that level, and then the aircon stuff comes easy.
Yep.
So how long does it sort of take you to quote people?
How long? Say 10 to 15 minutes.
Okay, cool. So you are quoting people pretty quickly, like if they do request a quote.
Yep. Yeah, 10 to 15 minutes. Yeah.
That is very quick.
Yeah,
which is obviously back to speed to lead, so it's good.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. Synod, can you pull up one of your quotes, or to show us sort of what it looks like? Because I think how you present a quote matters, how you're sort of pricing it also matters. I think for the guys to see that, that'd be pretty valuable for them to maybe be like, okay, cool, maybe you shouldn't include this, maybe you should include this.
Yeah. Let me see if I can.
Because a lot of people are sending you photos of their system, their old system. You know, a lot of people are sending you floor plans and all of that.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Maybe it's not opening correctly. You're sending it's a Word document. It's opened up as a Word document. It's a Word document, is that right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Right. Okay. Okay. All right. Cool. Let me share this with you, boys. Yeah, this is the quote that he's sending people. Does that look right? Maybe my computer's opened it wrong because I don't actually have Word. Does this look right, Sinner?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right. So Tim, Keenan, this is
I can see it in about 4 minutes.
yep, no, that's fine. I would love to get your opinion on it as well. Obviously, like, yeah, I think it's yeah, Keenan.
Okay, so first thoughts.
Mm.
Is this exactly what it looks like?
Is this exactly what it looks like, Sinner? Or
Yeah.
maybe my computer has opened it wrong.
No, that's
No,
exactly right.
that's right. Okay.
Okay. The only thing, or really what stands out is back to Tibbs' kind of fake it till you make it gambit.
Mm.
You gotta basically present yourself as professional as you can. With this whole thing, if I was to receive this, honestly, I wouldn't even do it. A way around it, do you use any apps or anything? Any software?
No, not really.
Nothing like that. Even if
Oh,
not, you've
no.
even if not, you've got some free ones that you'll be able to get on your phone. Like it's literally one's called Invoice.
Oh,
One's called Invoice Simpler. There's like three or four of them that they have free versions. You can customize the invoice how you want it to look. It'll come out
Logos.
nice and pretty. You'll have your logo on there if you have a logo. Because just with obviously date, are you manually putting in the changing the dates and everything like that?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So with any of these softwares, they'll do that all for you. And you can play around with color schemes where you want the logo placed. So that subcooling solutions, if that's your logo, it'll be like nice and pretty up the top with obviously date, phone number, your email, and your ABN if you wanted to as well. With the quote description, I would go a little bit more in depth of what is kind of involved. So not so much where you have to itemize different things so they see the prices, but more just here's your lump sum total. This is what you're paying. You're going to pay $8,000 excluding GST. But in that description gives you what exactly. So 10 kilowatt Mitsubishi Heavy Industries ducted, your four, whatever size they're going to be, four 10-inch zone motors, for example, four outlets, obviously two 12-inch ducts, plenum, so supply and return plenum, 700 by 400 return grill, just any kind of those things. Because if you obviously have the price there and you justify what's included, you've pretty much filled all the questions they have. And then if they come back to you, that kind of opens up space where they'll come back to you and go, oh, on the phone call, we spoke about Wi-Fi, spoke about AirTouch, but on this, you don't have it included. So can we maybe adjust it? And then, boom, you adjust it. That's basically just biding time to keep them in the conversation until you get them closed.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just with this quote anyway, if you still wanted to run it exactly how it is, I'd just kind of pretty up that top section with your detail stuff like that. Because
and
what you want them,
we can
yeah,
also, you know, you can also send quotes through Lead Summit Center. What we used, obviously, it's not as detailed, right? But you know, we send out invoices and take payments through there as well. A little bit different for you, but you know, you're able to send quotes.
yeah, I'd say just the big thing that I take away from this is just um, making it a little bit more present a more professional approach, and then just adding more to that quote description. Because once people know what exactly is included of such a big sum, because obviously it's a lot of money to try and part from. So if they
Yep.
can understand what exactly of where their kind of hard-earned money is going, then they're normally fine.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
More important. Yep.
Yeah, it's most of obviously the whole closing process. Once you get them in the door, it's initiating the conversation, trying to pull what we need. Towards back end, it's just easing their mind. So the person that can basically make it as smooth as possible for them and also answer all their questions is most likely going to win the job. Yeah. The only time you'll probably lose it is if someone's cheaper than you, which most of the time, if you've built such a connection with that person, they'll still go with you regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'd say just for how it is, just add more into that description. Once they know what they're spending their money on, they're normally pretty good.
Tim, anything to add?
No, he's right. So Keenan does all our quoting and back end stuff.
Yep.
So he'd have the best knowledge for all that kind of stuff.
Yep. Yep. I would also say, yeah, and probably stay away from a Word document. I'd use a software like Keenan was sort of saying, be a little bit more professional about it.
This one would be a good example of pretty much they had we were competing against one other person when they drew the line down to who they wanted.
Okay.
We were about cause we ended up having a conversation with the guy, really a lovely bloke, everything like that. We were $800 more expensive than the other guy. That was the only kind of contention of why he was keeping that guy in. Touching back to what Tim was saying about we showed up, you become a natural salesman, just obviously talking about what you know.
Of course.
So talking about the industry of air conditioning, stuff like that, it's easy to just obviously sell your point.
Yep.
And then going into those personal conversations, building that rapport of something you have in common. Could be anything like Tim was saying about sports, everything like that. So we built and kind of held on to him that way compared to a guy that the only difference was he come in, first of all, he just made their mind up for them and didn't really give them room to kind of make up their own mind. And then obviously he was $800 cheaper.
Yep.
So I've just sent that through. Let me know if you get it.
I've got that now. Okay, so I've got the full email and everything. I think that's great to go through. So I'll share my screen. Maybe, Sinner, if you put your phone in landscape, you'll be able to see it better.
Giving them options is like really big.
So Keenan, maybe I'll just let you go through this email before we even, open the quote, right? Because this is quite a hefty email.
Yeah, cool. So with our setup, that's all just a script. So anybody that we send out these quotes to, these invoices to at the end, all of that kind of stuff, the system we run, they get it automatically. We used to do it manually, and then obviously as we progress, we've gotten a lot better and stuff like that. But obviously, hi Andrew, please find attached a copy of your invoice regarding job number, blah, blah, blah. It's got a link there that allows them to open up their quote. Then it's just a bit of obviously info of what we offer. So our 1 year workmanship, which is a big thing. Some people do 2, some people do 3, so totally up to you. Obviously, pointing out the manufacturing warranty. And then at the end as well, we've got a disclaimer there, which is just any issues. So if you've got people that ain't paying, like you've already done the job, stuff like that, it's kind of, if you do go to court, it keeps you safe, really, because you've got it all in writing and they've also received it. So it's like, it's not that they're going to win that argument. But yeah, basically the whole point of that email is just making sure they understand about the warranties, and then also just a safety net for yourself.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. I'll open this up then. All right. Cool.
First thing you see right at the top is obviously our logo. You've got obviously customer details, all of that stuff. With this system, it pre-fills everything for us. So that's why if you jump on one of those apps, it'll do this all for you. Then you've got works completed. So we put in exactly what we had done. When you get the quote, it says the exact same thing. Just so, first of all, they know exactly where their money's going. And second of all, it keeps you safe. It's another safety net of going, I said, you said, when it's all on paper, written and signed, and everybody understands what is actually included. So we gave a breakdown of obviously what system was installed, how many zones, your installation schedule time frame. Normally we do 1 to 2 weeks, but that 2 to 4 weeks just gives us a bit of space, just in case, for any kind of stuff around. If other jobs go over the line, stuff like that. Then you've got obviously exact inclusions, so your equipment that we'll be supplying and installing. So the system itself, the zone kit, obviously the zone sizes, what kind of components like your BTOs, your flexible duct, your drain, your return grill, all of that kind of stuff. And then you'll have your exclusions. So with those exclusions, basically just paint it black and white of this is what we're not doing. Because then if somebody tries to flip the script on you and goes, no, you guys said we did this, you guys are going to do this, at least if you do separate between your inclusions and exclusions, it's another safety net. So yeah, basically the whole thing of adding to that quote description is it gives you a safety net without anybody really knowing, but to the customer, it's like showing them this is what you're paying for.
It adds to that detail, that professionalism, your warranties and everything again.
Yep, you'd want to put your warranties in there again because that's another big thing of what people look for. Additional notes if you do need to put any. So for us on this particular job, we had to rip out 3 existing split systems and then we were basically upgrading to a ducted. So made sure basically the conversation you're having once you're on site, you want to note that down. So it's like, okay, cool. They want us to rip these 3 splitties out and we're going to put in a ducted where if you didn't write it down and you just went and done the ducted, obviously it's just another thing. It's just another safety thing. And then but on every page as well, massive writing is how to pay. Because at the end of the day, that's the important part.
I can see, yeah.
So big letters of how to pay, and it's on every page if you go through it.
Yeah, it is.
And then if you go down to the bottom, because there should be more pages, we got terms and conditions, obviously your acceptance to it, our disclosures, suppliers, goods and services. That's all safety stuff you need in there too. So going back to this disclaimer, pretty much says we own all these parts until we've received full payment. Acceptance, stuff like that. So if they accept and they've paid their 50%, then they want to pull out. We've got kind of 2 systems where number one, we'll keep that deposit depending on price. Or obviously if it's major like a ducted, we'll take 10%. And then there should be other terms in there about payment because you want to make sure obviously late pays, it pushes people to pay because they don't want to increase
payment. Yep.
Yeah. So there should be a section there basically stating about overdue payments and stuff like that. So normally we give most residential stuff a 7-day period. If you end up going over those 7 days, it's normally like I think it's like a 10% charge or something like that. So kind of just makes
left.
Yeah, on top of what's left.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's just a lot to do with safety nets of making sure the goods are still in your name technically until full payment's received, and then anything to do with late payments to make sure you do get your money. Because if not, in our disclaimer for the parts, it literally states that we can come to your property and take back what's ours.
And they sign this before we get it back.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's them agreeing to all the terms and conditions as well.
Yeah. A lot of people don't even read it.
No.
A lot of people don't even read the stuff. Obviously, it's so large that a lot of people they see the price and they go, yeah, cool. But that's up to them. It's like all of us when it comes to signing up for something and we click through the terms and conditions. Yeah, we all skip them. It's more for later if something does happen. At least you know that you've got your system in place, so you're going to win that argument.
Makes sense. And I think it also makes you guys look more professional, right?
Yeah, it definitely does.
You know, you're a lot more professional. You're a legitimate company. Yeah.
That'll definitely be a big thing to add to your kind of arsenal. That'll obviously help you convert.
Yeah, definitely. Tim, Keenan, is there anything else sort of that you can think of, or Sinner, that you want to sort of ask?
No, I think that's all. Yeah, that's all like a useful information. Yeah.
We are here to help. We want to see other companies grow just like we are. We don't want to hog everything to ourselves.
Tim, you've disappeared again.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I just got out of my car.
Thank you.
There you go. Oh yeah, I see. Yeah.
Oh, I'm back. Okay, hold on. That's the car.
Yeah.
What's going on here? Making me look like an amateur.
Oh, come on, man.
There we go.
There we go.
Yeah, like I said, we're here to help. And if we've got tools to help other people grow and be successful, use it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Thank you very much, guys.
Awesome, guys. Awesome. Really appreciate your time. And yeah, Sinner, hope you found that valuable. I think, the big thing that I took away was definitely the on-site quotes. I think that will help you a lot. And then also just a quoting template as well, rather than just a Word document.
Yeah, sure. I'll do it.
If you need any any notes or anything to add to your template once you've kind of got your app that you want to use, if you do, so like how we've got all those safety nets, if you do need help with that, just let me know and I'll be able to send through if you want to use the whole thing, or obviously choose what to be suitable to your stuff.
Sure. Thank you very much. Yeah, sure.
Perfect. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Tim. Thanks, Keenan.
No worries, all good.